Alright, here we're going to work again with a perimeter, and this time there's fractions involved. So if you notice here, I need to find the perimeter of this square. And I'm given that one side is 4 and 1/6 feet. So that means I know that each side is going to be 4 and 1/6 feet long. Because over here, all sides of a square are the same length. All four sides the same length. So I'm going to fill that in. So then I have how long each side is. So now I need to add those together. So I'm going to have, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the fractions separately. Okay, so it's going to be 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 feet for each of those, and that will be 16 feet. Okay, now it's 16 feet, but there's also the fractions, so now I'm going to add those together. 1/6 foot, 1/6 of a foot, 1/6 of a foot, and 1/6 of a foot. And that will equal, now something important to remind you of, when you add a fraction, the denominator stays the same. Okay, you can only add fractions when the denominator is the same, but when you add it together, it doesn't change. So that will remain a 6 in the numerator. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and that is also feet. So the perimeter of that square would be 16 and 4/6 feet. All right. So now let's look at this second problem over here. The perimeter is 22 and 2/5 feet. Find the length of each side. Well, this side right here, that's an easy one to find because it is the opposite side. So I know opposite side of rectangle are the same length, so 8 feet and 8 feet. But I also know that that side and that side are the same length. I just don't know what that number is now. So I'm going to add these two sides together. All right, so I have 8 feet, 8 feet, and that equals 16 feet. All right. And I'm going to subtract it from, I'm given the perimeter up here. That's my perimeter for the whole thing. So I'm going to subtract now. So I'm going to do 22 and 2/5 minus 16. All right. Now here, 2/5 minus nothing is going to stay 2/5. And going to borrow there. So 12 minus 6 is 6. 1 minus 1 is 0. So the leftover length that I have is 6 and 2/5 feet for these other two sides. Well, I need to split both of these in half. Well, and pretty easily, I can split the 6. I know that that's going to be a 3, and that's going to be a 3. Where it's going to get a little bit tricky here is with the 2/5. All right. So what I'm going to do is draw a little picture here to help me out. All right. So there. So my denominator is 5, and I'm going to color these in real quick. Going to just dump a can of paint up. Let me just do. There we go. I had that one left open there, so that's why it filled up the whole thing. So I have 2/5 of that colored in. All right. Now, if I was going to split that in half, like if I was going to share this with somebody else, okay, think of it as a candy bar. One person would get this piece, and the other person would get this piece. And that's really what we're trying to do here. We're trying to split it between the two threes. So I have one piece, and what was the fraction for just that one piece would be 1/5. Each one of these represents a 1/5. Now these three are already gone, and these two are what we have. So one of the threes gets that piece, and the other three would get that piece. All right. So if you look at it, the length, the 8 feet and 8 feet, is pretty easy. And then we added those two together. That gave us 16 feet. We subtracted that from the 22 and 2/5. Okay, and we got 6 and 2/5. Well, in this case, we were able to split the 3 up pretty easily, or the 6 up into 3s pretty easily. And then the 2/5, well, we drew the picture to represent 2/5. All right, and one of the threes got one piece, and the other three got the other piece. So 3 and 1/5, 3 and 1/5 feet. And that's a little more advanced perimeter, which involves some fractions. Let me know if you have any questions, but remember while you're working on it that I believe in you.